We have some real weird shit breaking down in Akihabara, Tokyo recently. Quite literally, there's a man known as Poop Man who is on the loose, taking shits all over the place, outside stores, by telephone poles, without remorse. He's on the attack, and he is wreaking havoc on our otaku paradise. Enter Poop Man.
The great mighty.
We have a real clown on our hands here. So, a man is terrorizing Akihabara with nothing but his bare ass. It's pretty crazy. It's been going on for 3 months now. This dude just taking dumps all over the place, and understandably, shop owners are perplexed and also very pissed off because nothing sucks like opening up the window to your shop and smelling the sweet smell of a stinky turd. And what would honestly drive someone to go on this kind of serial shitting rampage in one of Japan's busiest areas? What is the story? What has this man done? Who is the Poop Man, and why can he not be brought to justice? Let's dive in, starting with some background information and talking about the crimes themselves. And stay tuned for a fun trivia question about poop in video games. Here we go. So first off, if you're not familiar with random neighborhoods on the other side of the world, Akihabara is essentially a neighborhood in Tokyo which is filled with awesome shops if you're a nerd. Anime, games, manga, electronics, nerd memorabilia and figures, idol cafes, maid cafes, anime and game themed cafes. It is basically the nerd mecca of the world. I've spent quite a bit of time there over the years, and I highly recommend it if you are planning a trip to Japan and you're into games and anime and whatever, or if you want to go to West Side Japan, check out Kyoto and Osaka and so on. Why not check out Denden Town, which is the west side version of Akihabara, because you can always come out here and hang out with me. West Side Japan is pretty sick. Anyways, one man has been going on an all-out assault in Akihabara over the past 3 months with nothing but his own shit. Why? Who is he targeted? Who is the Poop Man? The story starts right here with an article from Live Door Japan. Live Door Japan is a website which reports about things that happen in Japan. And I'm going to translate their article for you, so here we go. Here's the headline. Is there no law with which to crack down on the Poop Man, who has been doing unthinkable, annoying deeds in Akihabara? What a curious headline to lead with. Let's read more. In Akihabara, Tokyo, unthinkable, bothersome acts have been taking place. From the bustling Central Street to just inside the narrow gaps between buildings, one man is squatting. This is what happened the other day on the 30th of June, 2019. "What are you doing?" a voice called out, and a man broke into a run to escape from the scene. A man in his 30s, shouldering a blue rucksack and wearing a black t-shirt. Whoomp! Excrement is dropping in front of shops, in the shadow of telephone poles, behind buildings. Yep, they are talking about the Poop Man. We're putting this in the Poop Man folder. Disturbances are disturbances. There are also instances of drinking and vomiting in this area, said Tomo Sugawara, the shop manager of a nearby model railway shop who happened to take a picture of the incident, and a nearby company employee, Masayoshi Yamagata, also said, on the way to work on Monday morning, in a nook, there was a steaming turd. He didn't actually say that last part out loud, but Japanese people tend to set the sentence up and then let it trail off and let you infer the parts that are a bit more questionable or infuriating. According to reporter Yoshiyuki Tanaka, these bothersome deeds have been confirmed to have occurred behind a model railway shop, at the building opposite of it, by a telephone pole, and at 4 nearby private businesses. When the owner of the model railway store, Kosaku Nakajima, was asked about the situation regarding the frequency, this has happened about 10 times from April to June. Just one time I saw the same person again, it was hot, and I opened the window, and the deed had been done directly below. "Give me a break," he said with a grimace, and put up complaint posters to try and put an end to these bothersome deeds. And oh god, I love the complaint poster. Let's take a look. Bowel movement caught red-handed. If you see this man, please call 110. This is the Japanese equivalent of 911, basically an emergency line which you can call with various kinds of complaints or concerns. Every week, the neighborhood is annoyed with the repeated human waste damage, referring to the steaming ass paste that's being dropped outside his shop. And on Twitter, I believe this is him, he added, "It seems that basically every week someone is taking dumps behind the shop that you often love to stop by, and dealing with cleaning it up after is extremely annoying. I don't know if it'll deter it, but I've also put up a warning poster behind the shop. If possible, if you'd spread this via retweets and screenshots, I'd be very happy." He also started trying to collect information about the culprit via Twitter, and naturally, Japanese Twitter very quickly found out the identity of this person, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second. But first, let's just finish up the Live Door article and take a look at what one lawyer has said about the legality of what this guy is doing, because it's quite interesting. Reporter Tanaka said, "In thriving Akihabara, it appears there has been excrement damage, hasn't there? In spite of that fact, looking at the surrounding area, within a 300-meter radius, there are 3 public toilets." Newscaster Yuki Yamasaki added, "This is shocking, isn't it? So can this bothersome deed be charged as a crime? According to lawyer Hideo Yamada, it's private property, so it can't be charged as an infringement under the Minor Offences Act. And there are an unspecified number of people that go in and out of shops, so it's also difficult to charge as a home invasion. If a string of crimes can be proven, it could be charged as fraudulent obstruction of business, but legally, the hurdle is high. It's a troublesome matter. LOL. I'm not well versed in Japanese law, especially when it comes to law surrounding taking shits on the street and avoiding legal culpability for that, but it is funny that they may not be able to peg this guy. I assume that because the only pictures of him that were taken were on private property, that kind of excludes him from this Minor Offences Act, which I assume is also based around what you do on public property. Either way, it is quite hilarious that this man has taken dumps outside people's shops, and perhaps they will not be able to charge him for it because of these legal loopholes. So that is basically the story about the shit disturbances. He's been going on an absolute rampage in Akihabara. But who is he? Who is the poop man? It really didn't take Twitter very long to identify this guy, and many tweets soon came in to the Twitter page of who I believe is Kosaku Sakajima, the owner of this particular shop. Let's take a look at a few of these tweets. "Sorry I'm intruding from outside your following and followers." This is basically something Japanese people often say when they're not part of your following or followers on your page. I guess they just do it to be polite. "This person is Tsubasa Kurita, who lives in Gunma Prefecture's Shibakawa City. He's a pretty crazy dude, so even shitting isn't unusual for him. Isn't this the guy who caused the disturbances in the railroad otaku scene in Gunma in the past?" Kosaku Sakajima replies, "Is it the very same person?" To which that person replies, "He hasn't changed at all. When I saw this, I was just like, ah." Here's another comment from a young lady who used to work as a maid in the Akihabara area. "It might be that this is a different person who just looks like him, but I think I've seen this person many times when I was working as a maid. I often see him on the street, where Akiba Culture Zone, Mandarake, and Surugaya, and so on are, and on the side of Central Street, where Softmap and such stores are located. The time differs depending on the day, and I don't know about recently, but just in case, that's basically where I've seen him and so on. It's Tsubasa Kurita! I know this guy!" So apparently this dude is pretty well known in the Toritetsu community. Toritetsu basically refers to otaku who love to take pictures of or videos of railroads and trains, and rumor has it that this particular dude is no stranger to showing up to these shops and then doing some sort of strange deed before he heads home for the evening. And so it seems quite likely that he might be visiting these shops to pick up some merchandise and then, for whatever reason, just taking a nasty shit outside of the shops when he leaves.
Go out with all my
That is just speculation, but that is pretty gross. Now, I've got to say that I've heard some unverified rumblings that this guy might have Asperger's syndrome, which may be the cause of his unusual acts that he's been committing over the past 3 months. I don't really know, but I definitely don't want to be taking shits all over a person who has a developmental disorder. However, poop man, you've got to stop harassing these shops with your poop. You are going to get in trouble with the law or with, you know, just these shop owners and the fan base being angry at you, and I assume at least perhaps that means something to you, so you got to stop pooping. I do not know how I would react if I caught someone pooping outside my office. I would definitely be pissed if I had to clean clean up a steaming human turd on a hot day when I just want to do my job. Not cool. Of course, on the other hand, it's basically pretty hilarious that this is happening. It sounds like the plot from, like, I don't know, a Captain Underpants comic. And really, if you have a sensitive nose, you should not be going to Akihabara. But yeah, the kind of extremity of poops cropping up on the streets would be a bit of a deterrent to anyone. So I hope these pooping attacks come to an end soon. As a shop owner, how do you even deal with cleaning up all these steaming, nasty, smoking hot shits that appear outside of your shop? That is so disgusting. And really, there are so many public bathrooms in Akihabara, and this guy's a regular, so he should know better. There's so many places you can go and take a dump. Why are you doing it outside of these people's shops unless you have some kind of vendetta against them? I don't know. But what do you guys think? Do you think the poop man has a vendetta against some of these model railroad shops? Or do you think it's just a symptom of his Asperger's syndrome? Or do you think this shit is just too crazy and you don't know what to say? Let me know in the comments. And also, here's today's trivia question. What character from what game lives in a toilet and gives the player a power-up when they are given a piece of paper? I think this one's pretty easy, but I will put up the answer in the next video. So include in your comment whatever you think the answer to this question is, and I guess you'll get a poop emoji or something, I don't know. But thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you will check out some of my other videos, some of which are displayed here.